Okay, I have concerns. So nothing has happened in that episode. Really. We've seen a pterodactyl, which mysteriously was disguised from our view for a period of time and then was just shown completely. There was no revelatory moment of pterodactyl appearance. We've just had find thing, run away, get locked up, run away, which I find very, very strange because we could have had a... The other thing that gets me, and it ties into what I've just said, the dialogue is so functional. It's functional to the point of ridiculousness. There's barely any character. And even Mace, who you would think would be... I'm not sure Mace was supposed to be our audience identification figure in this, but he is, because the Doctor's quite icy and aloof. I don't remember Davison being icy and aloof. I always thought he was more sort of tuned in, but he's not. He's quite cold and sort of blunt. I like Nissa. I know there's a sort of earnestness to Nissa which I can get behind. Adric's just off the chain. You know, he goes from we're just like normal people. Oh yeah, he's a TARDIS. And then Tegan, she has a
It's like, I'm strong, I can do this, I'm a man. Oh, actually, I'm useless.
No, I can't. Yeah. And then, thank you. Yeah. And then,
can you see my butt here?
No, we can see your butt. And then Tegan has a couple of snappy lines, but there's never any joy from Tegan, is there? I mean, I know this is not a particularly joyous episode, but there's never any sort of warmth.
You're really down on Tegan. You're always complaining about her. There's no joy from any of them in this episode.
I think Nissa has a certain sort of...
I think you just have got a thing for Nissa.
I haven't got a thing for Nissa. But I think she fulfills the companion role better. But fundamentally, I think this story is just blunt. You compare this to historical stories that we've loved in the past. So the Aztecs, just the go-to brilliant historical story, uses the historical setting to have an interesting, not theological, ethical debate type thing. Then you've got the time meddler, where you've got the historical setting with its all grime and grimness, and then you throw the time meddler into it, and that is cool. The other one that springs to mind is the Time Warrior, where we've got Irongron and what's the name of Sontaran in that one? Lynx, you blackguard. And that's just pure joy, rompiness with a bit of grit. This is just, I mean, it's trying, isn't it? But it just isn't hitting the mark at all. And I'm starting to have worries about Davison's Doctor.
Oh, that's my fault. That's because I'm not in love with him.
No, I'm not sure it is, because...
He's quite dynamic.
He is. But right, I'm not going to go to Tom, because it's the obvious one. Pertwee wouldn't have run off and left two companions in a cellar like that.
No, he'd have been all fisticuffs.
He would have grabbed one of them and made an effort to go back for the other. Yeah.
That was a chop, by the way.
It was a Venusian Aikido chop, and it was very good. Adric's only little. You could pick him up under your arm, surely. You could have nabbed one of them in that circumstance. It's all a bit convenient leaving two of them there.
Yeah.
I don't think the script's doing Davison any favours.
The script's rubbish. There's no artistry in this.
There's no, it's blunt. It's blunt.
It's almost like an A-level sort of art, film studies type.
For saying that, I mean, for saying that very little happened in that episode, there was no snappy dialogue. The best lines were when he says, "You forget, I am a highwayman." And he goes, "This isn't a highway." I quite like that one. And then the pterodactyl made some reference to Tegan being stupid. And she goes, "It's not exactly an original observation." Quite like that, but...
I think when you say that you like Nissa as a companion, you're thinking more of sort of equality. Like he expects a bit more from her. He can give her a bit more responsibility because he sent her off to do something in the TARDIS, saying, "Oh, you'll be able to manage that. You're capable. you just need the confidence, whereas he doesn't seem to have that relationship with the others.
Yeah, and that doesn't do Davison any favours at all, because I think he sounds as if he's being mean to Tegan, and yet Tegan's exactly the sort of person who, in other circumstances, the Doctor would be bringing on. But Adric doesn't do himself any favours because he's bloody useless. What a horrible thing to say, but he is. And I tell you, their uselessness gets amplified because there's so many of them that sort of when you've got Tegan and Adric being a bit rubbish together, it sort of just magnifies their rubbishness.
I think it's also magnified by the terrible writing in the sense that they keep saying, "Oh, Adric, you'll be able to do this," and then he can't. Or we should be able to manage such and such, and then they can't. And it's just...
Is it I mean, there was the bit where May said, he says, "What does that taste like? Ambrosia. What does that taste like?" Which was supposed to be a joke, I assume. But is that poor writing, a poor joke, or is it just because Adric can't pull that off?
I think it's because Adric's struggling to pull anything
God,
off.
I don't know. I want this to kick in.
Well, it's episode 2 and it has... Well, episode 1 wasn't that bad, but I'd say this is definitely... Like, I'm already thinking this could have been at least a 3-parter.
There are a few 2-parters in Davison's era, you know.
Oh, good. I'll be looking forward to
Yeah, I
those.
like a 2-parter. And I feel this could be snappy with 2... Oh, I don't know.
Are we grumpy? I think all the last episodes we've been like... Ooh,
No, I love
grumpy,
Kinder.
grumpy.
I honestly think Kinder's class. Apart from the snake at the end. I really think it's clever. But it's not exactly dazzlingly...
Oh, we haven't had any bad effects in this yet, but we also haven't mentioned...
Oh, blingy bling android.
Bloody fabulous robots.
Oh my gosh, that android is so fabulous.
So fabulous.
After this story was
We need
filmed,
more bling in the light.
it's a true story that android went down to Carnaby Street and partayed. I know, my reference is well off then. Where would you have gone? 80s, early 80s.
Probably Manchester.
Manchester, Carnaby Street. That just goes to show that my natural time was the 1960s. A balmy night. You're swinging.
Groovy, baby.
I get it. Right, okay, yes. Oh, well, not to worry.